Welcome to Home Cooking with Holly. Today is a video for my beginner cooks out there. I know that it can be very scary to make poached eggs, but I'm going to show you a shortcut that will take the fear out of poaching your eggs. Poached eggs can be very intimidating. It took me quite a while to get them down, and I still don't have them fully mastered. Once in a while, I do overcook the yolk, but it's a learning process, and it's totally fine. No one is perfect. I have a shortcut for you here. This pan, this wonderful, beautiful pan. There's an old-fashioned way to make poached eggs, a big pot of simmering water and some vinegar, some white vinegar. And then you swirl that water and vinegar and create kind of like a cyclone in there. And then you drop your egg in and it will poach. I don't like to do it that way because this is so much easier. So if you can get one of these pans, I highly recommend it. It's inexpensive. You can find it online. You can find it in your local store. So easy to come by. Here's what you do. You're gonna lift up this little tray and we're going to fill this pan up to the water line. Here's our water line. Now I've set it to about a medium heat and I'm going to allow that to start coming up to a simmer. We don't want it to really boil. We want it to be a simmer. Now the egg cups, we're going to spray those with a cooking spray. Yes, it will get on your stove. It's fine. You can wipe it up, not a problem. Cooking is not exactly a neat, tidy thing to do, but that's okay. We just clean as we go. Now into these, I'm going to crack an egg into each one. You can use whatever eggs you like to use. I do want to warn you, if you get farm fresh eggs, make sure you crack it into a separate cup first. We used to raise chickens. We had lots of farm fresh eggs. Sometimes you get a little surprise inside and it's not pretty. It usually involves things that you don't want to eat. So make sure you crack it in a separate bowl if it's a fresh from the chicken egg. These I got at the store. All right. Make sure you wipe off your hands if you got any egg on there. And I'm going to add my favorite seasonings, salt and pepper. Just gonna put a little shake on top of each one. And now we're just going to wait for our pan to come up to that simmer. We like to serve our poached eggs over buttered toast, and here's a little tip for you. Now, if you keep your butter on the counter, you don't have to worry about this. But if you keep it in the refrigerator, like we do, and you can use margarine. I prefer the flavor of butter, but you can use margarine. If that's what you have, go for it. Set some butter on your toast, but don't try to spread it out yet. We want to let the heat from that toast melt the butter. And then it will be so much easier to spread and you won't tear your bread. And use as much or as little butter as you like to use. Okay. See how much easier that goes? Nice and smooth. And I took it right out of the refrigerator. Add a little bit more, we'll be set. Our pan is almost ready. It's not quite simmering enough for me, but there are a few little bubbles starting to come up. You can see the little bubbles. That's what we want. I'm gonna let just a few more bubbles come up, and I want it to be just a little faster of a simmer. Okay, the bubbles have gotten a little faster, a little more serious. Now I'm going to set my egg cup pan right on the top. Now that water is not touching the eggs. It's underneath. It's going to create steam to cook the eggs. And I'm going to put the lid on. And that's how we're going to get that perfect steam. Now that I've got them in the pan with the lid on, I did turn the temperature down to a lower temperature. I'm not on low. If you're on If you have an electric oven, you have a setting that actually says low. I'm not on low, but I'm on 2. If you're on a gas stove, make sure you have a very low flame going. We want to be able to cook the eggs and steam them, but we don't want to overcook them. Now you can do poached eggs a few different ways as far as how long you cook them. You can make the yolk hard. You can make the yolk soft. You're just going to add a few more minutes to your cook time if you like your yolk to be completely cooked through. We like to leave it where it's more like that liquid gold molten lava, so that's what we're going for. And you may not get it right the first time. You may not get it right the 9th time. Don't worry about it. I still mess them up sometimes. We'll see if I do all right today. They will still taste good, even if they aren't perfect. They will still taste good. It's been about 2.5 minutes, and you can see that I'm starting to get some white forming around that egg. That's the egg white is cooking. That is perfect. I'm not going to take the lid off because I want it to steam. So I don't want to release that steam. I want it to stay in there. But that's what we're looking for. We want it to start to cook the white, and the entire top will start to turn white. We don't want to see this yellowing of the white, because that means it's still raw. Another thing I like to do when they're cooking to help me determine if they're done or not is to give the pan a little shake and to see how much it wiggles in the center. That's obviously definitely not done, but I just wanted to show you how the egg yolk and the white still wiggle a lot. Definitely not done. I'll show you how it is when it is done. If you look up poaching eggs online, you'll probably see that they only take a few minutes. I've found that it actually takes significantly more than 2 or 3 minutes to cook them because I do it at the lower temperature. They turn out better that way. And let's see, it's been 4.5 minutes now. Not quite done. And you can see if I give it a jiggle, the white is still a bit yellow in there. I highly recommend you drink your favorite coffee while you're cooking breakfast. It makes the process so much more enjoyable. Okay, it's coming up fast now. The last few minutes are critical. See how much more that white has cooked through? It's still a bit too jiggly for me. I like it to be a little firmer, but we're getting really, really close. Now you should never leave cooking unattended, but definitely don't walk away right now because your eggs will get ruined. All right, they're done. Mine took 7.5 minutes. Like I said, if you look it up online, it'll say that they cook so much faster, and they can. If you have a low rolling boil, you can cook them faster, but I still prefer to have more control over the texture of my egg, so I do it at a lower, slower temperature. Low and slow. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Okay, now that lid is warm. Not too hot to burn me, but make sure you have a pot holder handy in case your lid is really hot. Now if you look at these eggs, if I jiggle it, if I shake the pan, they jiggle a little, but not like they were. And I want them to jiggle a little because I want that yolk to be soft and runny. I like to use a pot holder that my hand fits in to lift them out and onto the plate. You can also use tongs to lift them out. You're going to pick them up under the little handles, and I just flip them right over upside down onto my toast. Okay? And you don't want to leave them in the pan too long once they're done because they'll continue to cook, and I don't want them to be rubbery or overdone, just like I mentioned before. And now for the test. I am just going to use the butter knife I used for my toast and cut into it. And see that? Oh, perfect. See that liquid gold oozing out? That's what we want. Please like and subscribe for more recipes and cooking tips.